अगले 14 दिन में हमारे ये रोवर है ना विक्रम लैंडर की हेल्थ कंडीशंस हमको चेक करना है. Pragyan Rover will come out. Pragyan Rover will come out in next maybe a few hours. Sometimes it may take one day as well, depending upon the conditions. Then each of the instruments will be deployed. There are many instruments.
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल
People are applauding. Let us all.
अगले 14 दिन में हमारे ये रोवर है ना विक्रम लैंडर की हेल्थ कंडीशंस हमको चेक करना है. इसके बाद द Pragyan Rover will come out. Pragyan Rover will come out in next maybe a few hours. Sometimes it may take one day as well, depending upon the conditions. Then each of the instruments will be deployed. There are many instruments. There is an instrument called REMBA, which will be deploying to study the geophysical parameters of the regolith. Then there is an ILSA, which will measure the seismic activity. Then there is REMBA is going to measure the atmosphere, the charged atmosphere of the moon, and there is a chaste, which is going to pierce on the surface of the moon and then measure the thermophysical properties of the regolith. Then we have a ILSA payload, which will be lowered from the moon. Craft, that is Vikram, it will be lowered using some ropes. It will touch the surface and measure the seismic activity on the moon. And once the Pragyan Rover comes out, there will be two important experiments, and both of them are linked with the elemental composition and chemical composition of the surface of the moon. The first experiment will be using a laser beam. We will send a laser beam from the rover on the material. It will fuse it, and then it will generate some spectroscopic information which will identify elements there. Another experiment is related to an alpha particle which will be emitted by the radioactive material sitting there, and that will generate certain X-ray fluorescence on the surface, and that will be measured to find out the chemical composition. So these are the main experiments that are on board Chandrayaan-3 now.